Welcome to the boating adventure. It's Monday the 8th of September 2025, and as you can see the engine has gone. River Canal Rescue have just been and they've collected the engine and they're taking it off to L.R. Harris and Son for its annual service, and then at some point they will bring it back and refit it. So chance to do a few little tidying up jobs around that area there. It looks pretty disgusting, so it needs a good clean. And I've also got some things to add to the boat that I've bought over the last few days. So this is the new mooring rope. I bought this from the same company as I've got all the other four ropes on the boat that are here at the moment, but this is a lot thicker. I think that's going to be strong enough. And it came ready spliced, so I don't have to do that. It's already been done. Goes through the ring here, and then that feeds through there. It's 10 metres long, this rope, which is what you really need if you're going to be okay in the locks and things. I bought this rope because it's got a good weight to it as well, so that when you throw it, it's going to actually land where you want it to go. One of the things that I want to slightly improve on the boat is our boat shower. We do use it quite a bit because the facilities around the canals are very, very limited, and unless you can get into a marina, you're really reliant on your having a shower on the boat. And we've been using one of Aldi's floppy buckets, but I found a much better bowl that's rigid plastic, and it gives us a bit more room for your feet. Okay, so there's the bowl, and it's a 20-inch diameter, so that's a lot more than one of those floppy buckets. So as well as a new bucket, I've also bought a new shower curtain. The fitting anchor design on it, and that will just drape in the bowl. I need to just put another hem around it. It's a little bit too long by about an inch or so, and then I'm going to put some Velcro on the outside of the curtain and the other part on the inside of the bowl at the top. So I've bought some self-adhesive Velcro to put around the inside of the bowl, and I can stitch it to the outside edge of the curtain, and then that way it's not going to get in the way, and it'll form a much better seal than before. And then just to finish it off, I've bought a memory foam bath mat, so that can stand there, so you won't forget where to stand. Well, a very good afternoon to you. It is Monday the 15th of September 2025, and I'm back over at the Swamp Duck. I've come today because tomorrow morning early from 9 o'clock River Canal Rescue are returning the engine from its service at L.R. Harris and Sons at Syston. It's much of interest. The engine has done 236 hours in the last 12 months, and that compares roughly the same as the previous year. So we've done them, if you average 7 hours a day, that's about 33 days, which actually doesn't sound an awful lot in a year, but yeah, it's taken us on a few journeys. Not as much as I would have liked, but then you're always up against things like the weather, and as we are at the moment, because the Coventry Canal is still closed. So as my t-shirt says, a future project or project now is to get the boat ready for moving it to its new moorings. So there's a few jobs that I want to get done. I want to clean the transom at the back of the boat before the engine gets here tomorrow. It's the last chance to do it whilst the engine's not here. Then I've got a few additions that I want to make. I've bought a couple of more fenders which will go at the back of the boat. There's a bit of repair to do there as well. I find that the L-shaped fenders at the back of the boat, they do take a battering sometimes when you go in close to lock walls and when you're landing the boat, that kind of thing. So I want to add a couple of fenders which might help to cushion the impact. So that's one job. I'm still sorting out the shower. I've done all the hemming of the new shower curtain, and I've just got to sort that out. That's another little job, get that all done. And then I bought a new life ring, except it's not a ring, it's a horseshoe shape. That will take up less room on the boat. And I found when I was looking at the old life ring which came with the boat, and has probably spent quite a lot of its life outside on the roof, it was very, very cracked, and if you put it in the water it'd probably sink anyway, because it would just take you in the water. So I decided, although it's something you never want to have to use, you do need to have it just in case. So I thought I'd get a new one of those, and I'm going to try and find a better place to site that so it's easily accessible but a little bit out of the way. I need to get some mooring rings ready for when we arrive eventually at the new marina, because the pontoon needs a couple of mooring rings that are more pertinent to this boat. At the moment there's just one at each end of the mooring, and that's really not a lot of use to my cruiser. So I've bought some mooring rings and I just need to sort that out. So there's plenty of things to do, lots of cleaning, getting it all tidy and have it ready for when the CRT eventually say, yep, you can go. There is a review of the Coventry Canal which is supposed to be happening tomorrow, the 16th, so fingers crossed they might have some good news. I certainly need 2 sets of locks to be open before we can move the boat. I need the Atherstone fly open and I need the Glascoat locks open. So there's 2 sets of locks there that have got to reopen before we can move the boat, and we need to make sure that there's plenty of water in the Coventry Canal. Okay, so I found a new home for this life horseshoe. So it's on the back of my seat, and that gives me room then for my bowl for the shower. That can just sit there until we need it. I've given the engine compartment a really good clean out, got rid of all the grime and made sure that the drain holes are working. And I've got these 2 new small fenders in place. As well as a new mooring rope, I also need to replace the ropes on the existing fenders. Well, a very good morning to you. It's Tuesday the 16th of September. Last night in the on the deck there in the cockpit, I cleaned the fenders on this side of the boat, so they're looking pretty good. When River Canal Rescue have been and fitted the engine, I'm going to turn the boat around, put it back in its mooring properly, and then I can do the fenders on the other side. So that's the plan. I managed to get over to the new marina to install some mooring rings on the sides of the pontoon ready for when the swamp duck finally arrives. Here are some further glimpses of the new home mooring, and you can see why I'm so excited at the prospect of getting there. It's Wednesday the 17th of September 2025 and I'm in the Lisbon House workshop today. Yesterday was a day of mixed fortunes in that River Canal Rescue failed to deliver the engine. Even though we'd gone past the appointment time, I got a phone call from them saying that they weren't coming. They didn't offer any explanation and they didn't offer me an alternative time or date. So today I rang them and I asked to speak to a manager who assured me that they would make alternative arrangements within the hour. So they did, and the engine is now coming on Friday between 10 and 11, so I have to make that 80-mile round trip once again. River Canal Rescue are very good at sending you a message which says that if the customer doesn't cancel an appointment within a sufficient time, they reserve the right to charge you £25. So I thought, well, it's only right that that should be reciprocated, and they've agreed to do that because I had made the journey already and I need to do it again. So I'm looking forward to them delivering the engine on Friday. On the plus side, I did yesterday go to the new mooring and I fixed those mooring rings, and it was a nice afternoon out, and it reminded me as to why I have booked this new setting for the swamp duck, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it is raining on and off today, so please bring it on so that those canals and locks can be reopened as soon as possible. When I do eventually get to move the swamp duck, it does open up a whole new possibility of different routes from that particular marina, and also it's set within the narrow canals, so I don't have to worry about doing ginormous double locks on my own. I just have to cope with the single locks, which is good. There are, however, 2 or 3 places that I know of that are routes to me where the canals are very narrow, and they're called the Narrows, and that's a place where only one boat at a time can go through. And I can think of the nearest one to me, which I have done once before, but I had Steve with me, so it wasn't a problem. That if I was on my own, then the suggestion from the CRT is that you pull your boat up and you send your crew member to go and check there's nothing coming the other way. But if you haven't got a crew member, then you've got to think of an alternative plan. One of which is to kind of wait for somebody else to come behind you and go through with them and hope that they've got a crew member. That's a slim possibility. Or you've got to come up with an alternative. One alternative is just leave the boat and just run on ahead and have a look to see if there's anything coming, and if there's nothing coming the other way and you can see a fair distance, then you run back to your boat and you get on and you go through. However, if you get to the other end of the narrow and you can't see that far, then you've no idea whether another boat is going to turn up in the time that it's taking you to run back to your boat and bring it through. And the last thing you want to do is meet a narrow boat, or any other boat for that matter, coming the other way, because somebody's going to have to back up. So I have thought of another plan, and I don't know whether this is going to work or not. Only time will tell. But I've had a sign made. There we go. Polite notice. Please wait here, boat coming, thank you. So I thought this is an extension on that idea of running ahead to see if anything's coming. So I thought if I had this on the boat, I could take it with me and I could place it at the other end of the narrow, either on a railing or try and make a stand for it. So I could put it there and then run back to my boat, and at least it would help anybody coming the other way to know that there is a boat coming. And obviously then when I get to the other end of the narrow is to take it away and put it back on the boat. So I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but at least I will have tried to help somebody who's coming the other way, so at least they'll know I'm coming through that bit of narrow and we won't meet. The first thing I need to do is to make this a bit more sturdy, so I'm going to put it on a bit of a backing board, and then I'm going to make a hole in the top of the backing board so we can put some thread through it, so you could tie it to a railing quite quickly. Because I know on the first set of narrows there is a railing at one end. I've got the sign on a board now, so that's quite heavier now. It's not going to move around so much. Just need to put some rope through there, and I've done a little leg on the back there, so if there's no railing to attach it to, at least we can put it out like that, a bit like a wet floor sign type of thing. Okay, so I think that's going to work quite well. If you're in a boat and you see this sign, don't go past it because I might bump into you.
Stand up. Oh, right, matey, how you doing? If we get it close to the edge, I'll take that handle.
Okay, I'm just thinking, is it worth tying that rope a bit more, or is it this how you did it last time?
This how we done it last time, so it will catch on the back otherwise. That's sort of the right gap, to be honest, mate. Right. Tell us when you're ready, mate.
Okay, as ready as I'm going to be.
Yeah. That's a good steering column. Right, rest it there. It's Friday the 19th September 2025, and River Canal Rescue I've been today. They've fitted the engine. It sounds lovely actually, it sounds really good. And so I'm just going to turn the boat round and put it back on its mooring. The fenders on this side are looking splendid. I've got the boat turned round, so now I can access this side. So I'm going to do for the fenders on this side what I did for the other side, because they all need new fender ropes on, because these are looking a little bit shabby and a little bit frayed, especially this one. And it probably wouldn't take much for that to go through, and we'd end up losing the fender. You can see that they do take quite a battering, so they need to be renewed every now and again. This one isn't quite as bad, but it is a bit thin there, so they need a good clean. Steve's going to clean the fenders, I'll renew the ropes, and then I'm going to just give this side of the boat a clean so it matches the other side, and everything will be ship shape and Bristol fashion. So I've got the A-team on this job now. I've got Sam on there.
Got who?
Sam.
Who's Sam?
Sam Fender. So it's been quite a good day today. We've got the engine returned, so a big thank you to River Canal Rescue. They even brought their publicity team with them today, and they made a video for YouTube. So you can check that out on the River Canal Rescue YouTube channel, and there you'll see hopefully the swamp duck and the swamp duck's engine, which they brought back. So thank you to them. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm just hoping that eventually we will be able to move the swamp duck to places other than up and down the Ashby Canal.
Update the 19th of September 2025, 2:05 p.m. Despite the recent rainfall, the water levels in the reservoirs that supply the Grand Union Canal, Coventry Canal and Oxford Canal have not improved enough to allow us to relax the current navigation restrictions and closures. To support boaters and boating businesses, we are now working towards offering a limited window of passage during the final 2 weeks of October, that is from Monday, the 20th of October. This will enable boaters to return to their home moorings.
So that's good news. Even though it's some 5 weeks away, it does at least give us a date to work towards. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, do take care.